everyone, welcome back to another video. It's me, Krashy, and again, talking about Gears of War, and I've been debating making this video for a little bit, only like a couple days, but mostly because I didn't really know what to say or how to do it, but essentially, I just, to be completely honest, and it's not even crazy to think about, I don't play Gears of War 4 anymore. I might hop on every now and then and play a game. Like for the last video I did talking about game types, I literally had to force myself to get on the game, and I wanted to play a game of arms race, and that game of arms race I think I actually lost because people quit or something like that, or they just were bad, it doesn't matter. But in any case, I had to force myself to get on. I think I even made a tweet about it, like having to force myself to get on and play a game just so I can make a video. And that's actually something I did today, and that's actually what you're watching. So to preface this video really quickly, I just don't... This video specifically is to explain my mentality on the game and why I'm displeased and why honestly I'm not playing anymore. Because if I'm totally honest, the decision to stop playing hasn't been something I've struggled with. It hasn't been something I had to sit down and communicate with myself about and say, hey, this game, you know, it's just, I didn't have to do anything like that. I didn't have to go through steps to quit the game. I literally just don't play it because it's not fun. I have other games that I've purchased. I have other games that I own, and when it comes down to spending my free time, I always end up spending my time on other games. That's just how it happens. You have to understand that in a competitive market like, creating a competitive online multiplayer game, every person that lives and breathes has a 24-hour window to perform activities each day. 2/3 of that is usually taken up by work and sleep. So you have to know that I have roughly 8 hours, and which is definitely, you understand, because of travel time, because of eating, because of going to the gym, different life things, it's less than that. So I'd say an average person probably plays a minimum of, an hour, I don't know, up to 3 on average. Maybe, a hardcore gamer will probably play like 5 hours or so a day. So you have to keep in mind that they're all fighting for that set amount of time. And 9 times out of 10, Gears loses it. I just would rather play something else. So, I don't even know where to start, man. The game came out on October 11th, and since then we have had 3 title updates, and there's only been one relevant change to the game, and I think the only one that I can think of off the top of my head, because there's probably something else, but the only one that really mattered was the changes to the packs in price, because that's something that was just really kind of gross and money hungry and not good, because I don't know, they just were way too expensive. Now, I've always said, or at least I've been thinking, that the esports support crates, they were fine the way they were, because they actually go toward crowdfunding, and if you want to spend the $10, it's on you. I personally don't think it's worth it, because the loot is just so random, and you never have a chance of getting exactly what you want, or you only have a chance of getting what you want. You're never gonna always get what you want. So, spend $10 to support the esports scene if you want. I'm gonna pass. But as for the regular crates, tuning down the pricing was pretty much the only good change we've gotten in over 3 months. Now, they've done a couple things to combat quitters, but I knew since they did those from the start that we're never going to do anything. And as you can see from this game, because we're more than 2 minutes in, someone's already quit. So it's just frustrating to try to enjoy this game when it's got such a core gameplay that's amazing, and you really can't enjoy it. So, but I think it's just the fact of the matter that nothing's changed. Like I said, we're 3 months in, and we don't have any ideas how they're going to fix the ranking system. In terms, the matchmaking is just a pretty terrible experience, because the ranking system doesn't do its job, potentially. I really don't know. I would love to know more about the back end, so I could speculate. It just doesn't seem like there's any kind of an MMR system in place, and if there is, it's definitely not working properly, because there's no consistency to it, and we've talked about this in other videos. But all in all, like I said, the game just hasn't gotten any relevant changes from the developers, to be completely honest. And the only thing, and I've said this in the past as well, the only thing good about Gears of War is the competitive scene to me. And the competitive scene is, doing the international circuit, and it's while it's going well in the sense that, you know, the teams are still playing and there's still organizations and sponsors and stuff like that, even the overall competitive scene is doing okay. You know, the viewership's not super high, but I guess it's not necessarily the point. I just mean that it's doing well. Ding. It's doing well in the sense that, I don't know, it's still moving, I guess. You can't really say it's doing bad compared to development, but kind of lost my train of thought there. It's doing well. It's doing well enough. I enjoy watching it, but outside of that, I can't keep myself on the game. And I think a lot of people would agree that unless you're inside the competitive scene, the game's just not as fun to play. You know, there's not really a reason to grind ranked. There's not really a reason to, you know, experience the game, you know, to grind it. Really, that's really what it is. There's not reason to grind it. You can't really just hop in and have fun on, you know, core game types, because the game mode is just totally different. The tuning is different. You know, we still have people quitting. The tuning is different on different playlists. We have it's just, I can't even think of all the issues because I've been so removed from it, and I don't know. It just kind of feels like I'm trying not to like negatively rant or like be angry and rant, but I want to give my like open and just kind of clear thoughts on why I truly just have not made a conscious decision to quit playing the game. I just truly I can't find myself on the game. When I get on my computer, I get on my desk, I turn on my Xbox, I have a natural instinct to just not go to Gears of War. You know, I usually will go and play Overwatch. Hearthstone is probably my most popular game right now because I play a little bit of work. Because it's so mobile and, you know, it's easy to get on and play a couple games. So I play a lot of Hearthstone and Overwatch just because I truly enjoy the game. But I wish I had that with Gears, because Gears has been a game that I've played for many, many years. It's been a game that the gameplay is just so unparalleled by anything else. You know what I mean? Like, that's why we all play it. It's the gameplay. Like, the gameplay is so different. And we all know that your Call of Duty friend that you know who is 10th prestige and talks all this shit, he can't get on and play Gears. You know what I mean? Like, that's one of the things that we all love about this game. But the problem is that the market has changed. The status quo for online multiplayer games has grown. And with that, you know, my expectations have grown. And they're not being met by this development team and this particular game. And maybe that's naive of me, or maybe that's arrogant of me to expect so much. But in a like I said, in a competitive market like this, where you have to keep up in order to have player retention, I just don't see it. And I've said it in the past, I'm very curious to see what the Gears 4 player retention numbers are like, because I can't imagine that if a person like me really doesn't get on and play the game much, that people that were new to the series, or this, like, say someone this was their very first Gears game, I can't imagine that they're still playing. You know what I mean? Like, and some will, you know what I mean? On average, though, I can't imagine that they're still playing and enjoying the game, because there's really nothing to play for. You can play for skins if you want. I have 8,000 scrap. I just opened some luchador skins. That's pretty cool, you know. I enjoy that part of the game. I enjoy the base work that they've done. It's just the fact that they couldn't, or didn't, or haven't pushed it further and taken the game from good and having potential to being great and being what we needed it to be. And that means having a ranked mode that works. That means having a single setting across the whole game so people can jump in between playlists and learn. That means having a leaderboard, that, you know what I mean, that you can actually see your rating. That means having a potential visible MMR to do the same, to show you where you fall. It just means so many different things that I would truly sit down. And I mean, I could tell you, I would sit down and grind this game. I'd get pissed off because I'd be losing and winning and losing and winning, but I would actually want to grind. Like, I play Overwatch, man, I sit there and I just lose myself in how much time I've spent, and my rank will barely move up or down. And in any case, it's fun, though, because I'm enjoying the gameplay. I don't care about any other issues. But on this game, man, it's not fun. And that's what my issue is. Like, I just don't have fun. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I really don't know what the future holds for this game, for myself, but I'm going to try to keep making videos, and hopefully I'll see you around for the next one. All right, thanks. Bye.